Welcome back, everyone. I'm Gerald, and I'm a Star Wars fanatic, and you can be a Star Wars fanatic too. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and when you do subscribe to the channel, you're entering yourself in for a chance to win this Sideshow Collectibles Winter Soldier figure. I will be giving that away at random at 25,000 subscribers. So let's get up to the 25,000 subscribers and give that figure away. With all that said, let's get on with today's topic. Now, as the warning said at the beginning of this video, this is a positive place for Star Wars, and this is just to discuss the elements of the topic at hand. This isn't to say my ideas are right, your ideas are wrong, or say that my opinions are what matters because I'm a YouTuber. It isn't. Your opinions matter as well. They matter to me. As long as you keep it productive, we'll discuss it. If you go into the negative side of things, the dark side as I like to call it, then we won't be discussing it. You'll just be on your own. So keep that in mind and let's move forward. As you can see from the thumbnail and the title of the video, the topic at hand is Rey Skywalker. Why can she not be called Skywalker? A lot of people are having a fit about that at the end of The Rise of Skywalker, she claimed herself Skywalker instead of Palpatine. I'm just wondering why that's a big deal to some people. I mean, on our own planet, we have people who get adopted even as teenagers and take on the last name of their adopted parents because those adopted parents took them in, didn't give up on them, let them have a future rather than leaving them in the system like their original parents may have if their original parents didn't pass away. Now, I think one thing that people think should have happened is that Rey should have kept the Palpatine name and maybe turned it into a positive thing. And maybe that could work, but at the same time, let's think about what happened. During the Galactic Civil War, Palpatine ruled the galaxy on his own, claimed himself as a type of monarch or an individual leader rather than the Senate. He even disbanded the Senate, got rid of the good guys, even killed off the Jedi, all that stuff. There's not much positive that the guy did. Maybe he created jobs or something, I don't know. But let's put that in our own real world. Let's say the guy that killed all those people during World War II, who will be unnamed, let's say he had an offspring. Let's say that offspring had another offspring. Is that offspring entitled to, or should they be demanded to keep that tyrant's last name? Now, before you answer that question, how about this? Let's say that grandchild of that World War II tyrant is taken in by a Roosevelt and not even raised by him, just mentored by a Roosevelt. Now, is that grandchild allowed to take on the Roosevelt name? Because the name it had before was horrible. It killed 12 million something people systematically. But the Roosevelt did not. So would that child then be allowed to take on the Roosevelt name? I don't see a problem with it, honestly. And I don't know why everybody else sees a problem with it. And when you put it in our own real world terms, and I think it makes more sense, but if you keep it in the Star Wars terms, I think a lot of the negativity that comes with Rey being a Skywalker is that Skywalker is a sacred name in the Star Wars universe. And I get that. Anakin Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, Shmi Skywalker. And now a lot of us in our own world say, don't let a name define you. Is a rose by any other name just as sweet? The whole Shakespearean thing. Okay, so let's forget the name. Let's say Rey Skywalker is acceptable because her grandfather was a tyrant, or her clone grandfather was a tyrant, or whatever, and she's actually a product of his clone, so on and so forth. She should stick with the name Palpatine because it's a strong name. It's an evil name, and she's a crap character that nobody likes, so she doesn't need to be a Skywalker because we hate her so much. Okay, let's forget all that stuff. And I did say I'd leave the drama out, and I'm sorry for that little bit. But at the same time, what if Skywalker isn't just a name? Let's go back to The Last Jedi, where Luke Skywalker said the Jedi had to end. And he had good reason for the Jedi having to end. Whether you like The Last Jedi or not, Luke had a reason for the Jedi needing to end. And he was absolutely right. The hubris, the arrogance, the lack of ability to use the Force when the dark side's present. Yeah, that freaked me out a little bit during the prequels. But what if Skywalker isn't a name, but more of a title, more of a institution now. As we know, when Ben Solo died, the last of the Skywalker's bloodline died with him. But what if their traditions can be carried on? Something that isn't Jedi, something that isn't Sith, but at the same time it does have a little bit of darkness and the light. Something not taught in the Jedi Academy, not taught by the Sith. Something that could ultimately be a new way of life for Force users. What if this is the beginning of a new era for Force users? Not Jedi, but Skywalker. By title. You are a Skywalker now. You're not a Jedi. There's no more Sith. We're going to balance the dark and the light in this, because we all know Luke Skywalker balanced the dark and the light. Not on purpose. He had a lot of dark side tendencies, but he was able to overcome them. And in The Last Jedi, he showed those dark side tendencies again, just as he had in the original trilogy. I know everybody thinks Luke Skywalker should have grown beyond that and everything, but Darth Vader never did. Anakin Skywalker never did. Throughout his whole life, he battled with the darkness. And finally, he did overcome it when he died. Right before he died, in fact. Now look at it. Anakin Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, then Ben Solo all had the dark side tendencies. They all struggled with the dark side. Some of them embraced it. Some of them fought against it. But at the same time, Rey, she also has the dark side tendencies. She was drawn to the dark side cave and didn't fight it, went straight to it. Luke saw that, and he didn't want to train her after that. So, why not make Skywalker a new order instead of the Jedi Order? Something that could combine the two, balance them out, and not have to fight one another between dark and light. So maybe that could be why she took the name Skywalker. More of a title rather than a name. And I know some of you are going to bark at me and say, no, it's just a crap trilogy, it's garbage, the writing was incohesive, and it was inconsistent, and Rey didn't deserve the name. Well, let's look at it this way. When The Last Jedi, let's start with The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens came out, everybody was theorizing who Rey was. They were saying, okay, she was a Kenobi, she was a Palpatine, maybe she was a secret Skywalker, or something like that. Then The Last Jedi came out, and they said, nah, she's a nobody, and everybody had a fit. Well, I swear she's a Palpatine. Look how she uses her sword. I swear she's a Kenobi. Blah, blah, blah. So on and so forth. And, you know, all those theories were good. I theorized she was a Palpatine from the beginning because of the way she held her sword and the theme that was playing when she was fighting Kylo Ren. It made sense to me. Then The Last Jedi came out. She's a nobody. Kylo Ren tells her she's a nobody. He either lied to her, or he was misdirected, or some reason he told her she was a nobody. Rey then believed she was a nobody until The Rise of Skywalker came out. Then no. She's a Palpatine. So everybody got upset again. I thought she was a nobody. Why is this inconsistent? Blah, 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 blah. It's not inconsistent. It's just storytelling through different eyes, different means, different points of view. For Kylo Ren, he was misinformed that she was a nobody. Maybe it was Snoke who told him she was a nobody. And we all know what happened to Snoke. Yes, he was a clone, but he was killed as well by his own apprentice. But the information that Snoke had was fed to him through Palpatine, because Palpatine controlled Snoke. He was Snoke essentially, or some way, shape, or form. I hope they do describe that a little bit better and go into a little more detail as to how that happened. But at the same time, everybody got upset when Rey, at the end of The Rise of Skywalker, did not want to keep the tyrant name and wanted to be something a little more pure. Not completely pure, because everybody's under a misunderstanding that Luke Skywalker was pure good. He wasn't. He had the dark side in him, just as Anakin did, and that showed through the original trilogy, but I've already talked about that. Rey decided to be a Skywalker, and it may not be because of the name, but more of a title. And even if it is a name, let's think about it like this. All Skywalkers are gone. Ben Solo, Luke, Anakin, they're all gone. What if she is carrying on the Skywalker name? Is that a bad thing? But yes, some people think it is a bad thing because they think the trilogy is just crap anyway and Disney did a horrible job. And to my other point long time ago, Disney doesn't write the material. They provide the money and the time to release the films. That's it. They might give a little bit of input on it, but they're not going to say, write it like this, make it inconsistent. All right? So, that's all I got for you today. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Like I told you before, once you do, you enter yourself in for a chance to win this Winter Soldier figure from Sideshow Collectibles. But think about the whole Rey Skywalker thing and leave a comment down below as to what you think about it. As long as you keep it positive, I'll engage with you. I'll even read the comment. That is, if you're trash talking me or the channel or anything like that, I don't care if you trash talk Disney, but you can just don't trash talk me or the channel, and I'll engage with you, and I'll do it in a positive way. So, thank you all for watching. This is Gerald from Star Wars Fanatic, wishing you all great health and happiness and peace. Thank you for watching, and remember, this is the way, the only way.